Most people think that success is about the big announcements, the flashy entrances, the loud declarations of what they are going to do. But let me tell you the truth. The most powerful transformations in life don't happen in the spotlight. They happen in the silence. Silent moves create loud results. It's not about telling the world what you're going to do. It's about getting up early when no one's watching. It's about staying up late when everyone else is asleep. It's about grinding, sweating, planning, failing, adjusting, and pushing forward without broadcasting your every step. Because the moment you waste your energy trying to convince others, you've already lost momentum. Results speak louder than promises. Think about it. When a tree grows, it doesn't scream, "Hey, look at me." It breaks through the soil in silence. It pushes roots deep into the ground where no one can see. And one day, suddenly, it's towering above everything else. That's how greatness works. Quiet, steady, unstoppable growth. You don't need applause to keep moving. You don't need validation to know you're on the right path. You need discipline. You need vision. You need to trust the process when no one else can see what you're building. Your silent moves, those moments when you choose progress over comfort, growth over excuses, are laying the foundation for a future so loud, the world won't be able to ignore it. Let others doubt you, let them laugh, let them underestimate you. Good, that's fuel, because when your results explode, they won't be able to deny the work you put in when no one was looking. The loudest victories are born from the quietest struggles. So, stop announcing every intention and start proving every action. Stop seeking approval and start demanding excellence from yourself. Every rep in the gym, every page you study, every deal you close, every habit you build in silence, it all compounds. And when it pays off, it doesn't just make noise. It shakes the ground beneath the people who doubted you. Your silent moves are your secret weapon. Guard them, protect them, execute them. And when the time comes, the results will speak for themselves, so loud, so undeniable, that the world will finally understand what silence was hiding all along. Discipline in silence is the hidden force that separates those who dream from those who achieve. Anyone can talk about their goals, post their intentions, or declare their plans, but very few have the ability to shut out the noise and put in the work when no one is watching. Discipline is not glamorous. It's not exciting. It doesn't get you applause, but it's the invisible engine that drives every lasting success. When you wake up before the sun rises, when you show up to the gym while others are still sleeping, when you stay at your desk an extra hour refining your craft, you are making moves that no one else sees. That is where transformation begins, not in the spotlight, but in the shadows, not in the noise, but in the silence. Most people want the results, but not the process. They want the recognition without the repetition, the victory without the grind. But the truth is, real growth demands sacrifice. It demands that you give up comfort for commitment. It demands that you keep moving even when you're tired, even when you're uninspired, even when the payoff feels far away. Discipline means choosing what you want most over what you want right now. It means doing the hard things not once, not twice, but every single day until the habit becomes your identity. And while the world doesn't see the sweat, the effort, or the hours you put in, they will eventually see the results. Discipline in silence is also about restraint. It's about resisting the temptation to broadcast every move, every plan, every step you take. Because when you talk too much about what you're going to do, you give yourself the illusion of progress. You get the satisfaction of people's approval before you've even earned the reward. Silence forces you to stay hungry. Silence keeps you accountable to yourself rather than to the opinions of others. It demands that you build confidence not through words but through action. When you practice discipline in silence, you create momentum. At first, the progress is invisible. Like a seed planted deep in the soil, there is no sign of life. But below the surface, roots are forming, structure is being built, the foundation is getting stronger. Day after day, the effort compounds and then, seemingly all at once, the results break through. People will call it overnight success, but you'll know it was years of unseen work. The discipline you practiced in silence will have built something unshakable. This kind of discipline is not just about work, it's about mindset. It's about training yourself to push beyond excuses, to embrace discomfort, to value progress over perfection. It's about becoming the kind of person who does not need to be told to show up because showing up is who you are. It's about holding yourself to a standard higher than anyone else would demand from you. In silence, you can't hide from yourself. You can't mask inconsistency with words or excuses. Silence exposes whether you are truly committed or just interested. And the beauty of discipline in silence is that it builds a confidence that no one can take away. When you know the hours you've put in, when you know the sacrifices you've made, when you know the consistency you've honored, you don't need external validation. You carry an inner certainty that gives you strength when others doubt you, resilience when challenges arise, and power when opportunities present themselves. Every silent decision matters. Every unseen rep, every page you read, every note you take, every moment you choose discipline over distraction. It all adds up. It becomes the compound interest of success. You won't see the payoff immediately, and that's why most people quit. They want instant gratification. But those who stay disciplined in silence understand that the results are coming, and when they arrive with a force no one can ignore. Stop talking about what you're going to do and start letting your results do the talking. The world is full of people making declarations, posting about their goals, and announcing their intentions, but far fewer actually follow through. Words are easy, promises are cheap. Results are what separate the serious from the pretenders. When you put energy into proving instead of proclaiming, you stop wasting time convincing others and start building undeniable evidence of who you are and what you're capable of. Results are louder than any speech, and they carry a credibility no explanation can match. When you focus on results over announcements, you free yourself from the trap of external validation. Too often people get caught up in the thrill of telling others their big plans, only to lose momentum once the applause fades. Talking gives you a short burst of satisfaction, but doing delivers the fulfillment of real achievement. It's in the unseen hours, the daily grind, the repetition, and the sacrifices that you lay the bricks of your success. By the time you reveal what you've been building, the proof is undeniable. People don't want to hear what you might do. They want to see what you've done. Think of the greats in any field. They didn't spend their time convincing people they would succeed. They just did the work. They didn't need to broadcast every step because their results became the announcement. They understood that action speaks louder than any proclamation. When you choose results over announcements, you stop living for the approval of others and start living for the standard you've set for yourself. That's where true growth happens, when your focus shifts from being seen to becoming effective. This mindset requires patience. Results don't come instantly, and when you stop talking and start doing, you'll quickly realize how much discipline it takes to keep going without the immediate payoff of recognition. But that's exactly why it works. While others are wasting time trying to look successful, you're busy becoming successful. Every silent move you make is building toward a moment when your results will speak so loudly that no introduction will be necessary. It also demands humility. Choosing results over announcements means you're willing to keep your head down while you put in the work. You're willing to sacrifice the spotlight today for the victory tomorrow. You understand that every time you talk instead of act, you leak energy, you waste momentum. But every time you act instead of talk, you build confidence, you build credibility, and you build an unshakable foundation that no one can take from you. And here's the thing, results don't lie. You can spin stories, you can make excuses, you can convince others with your words. But the results reveal the truth. They reveal whether you stayed disciplined, whether you pushed through resistance, whether you showed up on the days you didn't feel like it. Results over announcements means living with a standard that doesn't allow you to hide behind intentions. It means your success is measured by evidence, not promises. When you embrace this principle, you stop chasing attention and start chasing progress. You learn to value the process more than the perception. You find satisfaction not in telling people what you're going to achieve, but in silently working until you achieve it. And when the results arrive, they don't just validate your effort. They amplify it. Suddenly, people who doubted you can't deny you. People who ignored you can't overlook you. Your results have done the talking in a voice louder than any words could ever carry. Every choice you make in silence becomes part of the story your results will tell. Every step you take without announcing it is another piece of proof you're building. And while others may still be talking about what they plan to do, you'll be living it. You'll be walking evidence that results are the only language success respects. Like roots under the soil, your silent efforts create unshakable foundations. Growth that lasts is never built overnight, and it's rarely visible in the early stages. When you commit yourself to working quietly, when you dedicate yourself to the unseen grind, you are creating a base so strong that nothing can easily shake it. Just as a tree's beauty above ground is only possible because of the roots it formed below ground, your visible success will only ever be as strong as the invisible work you put in. The hours of study no one applauds, the sacrifices no one sees, the discipline no one talks about. All of it becomes the root system that allows you to withstand storms when they come. In life, too many people want to show off the branches before they've built the roots. They want recognition before they've built resilience. They want the applause before they've built the ability to handle pressure. But the truth is, without strong roots, success collapses under its own weight. Silent effort is the root work. It's the unseen investment in yourself that ensures that when opportunity comes, you're ready. It's the preparation that gives you stability, the consistency that builds your strength, and the patience that allows you to last while others burn out. Silent efforts don't always give immediate gratification. In fact, they often feel lonely, thankless, and unnoticed. But that's exactly why they matter. Every repetition when no one's watching, every late night study session, every extra mile run, every habit strengthened in silence is a root pushing deeper into the soil. You don't see the progress above ground, but beneath the surface, something powerful is happening. You're anchoring yourself. You're becoming unmovable. You're preparing for the moment when your growth finally breaks through for the world to see. Think about the times you've seen someone suddenly explode into success. People call it luck, timing, or an overnight breakthrough. But the reality is, what looked sudden was the result of years of silent effort. What looked like a sudden leap was only possible because of deep roots no one noticed. Your silent work today is creating the stability you'll need when your success becomes visible tomorrow. Without those roots, the first storm that comes will knock you down. With them, you'll weather anything. The power of unseen growth is also in the way it builds character. Roots don't just hold you up, they shape who you become. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're not just building skill, you're building resilience. Every time you push through fatigue, you're not just completing a task, you're proving to yourself that you're stronger than your excuses. These invisible victories shape your identity. They turn discipline into habit and habit into lifestyle. And once you've built that identity, it becomes impossible for setbacks to destroy you because you know exactly what it took to get here. Unseen growth also protects you from the illusion of success. If everything you do is public, it's easy to fall in love with the appearance of progress instead of the reality of it. But when you're working in silence, there's no one to impress. There's no one to validate you. It's just you and the work. That forces you to measure your progress honestly, to hold yourself accountable, and to value the process instead of the praise. That kind of growth creates humility because you know the truth. What people eventually see is only the tip of the iceberg compared to what you've built below the surface. Every moment of unseen effort is an investment in a future you can trust. Just like roots take time to form before a tree bears fruit, your silent efforts will eventually produce results you can be proud of. It may take months or even years before the world notices, but when they do, they'll see strength, stability, and success that cannot be faked or manufactured overnight. That's the power of unseen growth. It's the slow, steady work that creates something permanent, something real, something unshakable. Let doubt, criticism, and underestimation fuel your drive instead of seeking validation. Every time someone questions your ability, every time someone underestimates your potential, they're handing you energy you can transform into action. Most people let criticism crush them, but the strongest learn how to use it as fuel. When people don't believe in you, it gives you the perfect opportunity to show them what belief in yourself looks like. Their doubt becomes the fire that keeps you moving when things get hard, and their underestimation becomes the reason you refuse to quit. Silence in the face of criticism is power. You don't need to defend yourself against doubters with words. You can let your actions speak for you. Every insult, every doubt, every skeptical glance is a gift because it gives you a reason to push harder. Instead of craving their validation, you thrive on their disbelief. You turn their negativity into motivation, and with every step you take forward, you prove that their opinions never defined you. It's not about proving them wrong with words. It's about proving yourself right with results. The truth is, you will never be able to control what people think or say. No matter how much you accomplish, there will always be someone who doubts you. If you let their opinions dictate your moves, you'll live a life chained to other people's approval. But when you choose to embrace doubt as fuel, you become unstoppable. You stop wasting energy trying to change minds and start using that energy to build momentum. The criticism becomes background noise while you stay locked in on your vision. Underestimation is one of the most powerful tools you can have because it gives you the element of surprise. When people don't expect much from you, you're free to work in silence without the pressure of their expectations. You're free to grow without constant scrutiny, to make mistakes without everyone watching, to sharpen your skills in the shadows. And then, when you step into the light, the impact is explosive. The very people who once dismissed you will be the ones stunned by the strength of your results. Criticism also teaches resilience. It forces you to ask yourself, do I believe in this enough to keep going even when no one else does? If your answer is yes, then you've built a conviction that no doubt can destroy. Every time you choose to keep moving without validation, you're strengthening your own inner authority. You're proving to yourself that you don't need permission to pursue your goals. And that kind of inner authority is what separates those who stop when they're doubted from those who rise regardless. Think about the most successful people in the world. Almost all of them faced ridicule, rejection, and underestimation in the beginning. But instead of letting it break them, they used it. They took the energy of doubt and converted it into fuel. They didn't beg for belief. They demanded it through results. And by the time the world finally recognized their greatness, they didn't need the applause anymore because they had already proven it to themselves. Silence is essential in this process. When you don't respond to doubt with words, you conserve your energy for action. You refuse to get pulled into arguments or distractions. You understand that the best response to criticism is progress. The best revenge is success. And the best validation is knowing you stayed true to your vision even when no one else could see it. Silence in the face of doubt isn't weakness, it's strategy. It keeps you focused on the only thing that matters, building the results that will silence every critic. Every moment someone underestimates you is a moment you can choose to double down. Every doubt thrown your way is a challenge to go further than you thought possible. And every piece of criticism is a reminder that your journey is about proving yourself to yourself, not to them. When you stop seeking validation and start using doubt as fuel, you take back your power. You no longer need anyone's permission to rise. You no longer need anyone's approval to succeed. You become a force that cannot be ignored, not because you argued your worth, but because you demonstrated it. When you stay committed in silence, your success will be so undeniable it will speak for itself. The world doesn't need to hear about your intentions, it needs to see your execution. People may ignore you at first, they may doubt you, they may dismiss you, but when you keep working in silence, you're building results that no one will be able to overlook. Every silent step you take is preparing a moment where your success becomes too loud to be denied. The power of results is that they cannot be debated. Opinions, criticism, and doubts fade in the face of undeniable evidence. You don't need to convince anyone of your worth when you can show them. Silence keeps you focused on the process, on the habits, on the daily grind, while the results you're stacking in the background build momentum. And when the time comes, the results are so clear, so massive, so powerful, they don't just speak. They roar. People are quick to doubt what they cannot see. That's why staying silent is a strategy, not a weakness. While they question you, you're building. While they underestimate you, you're learning. While they forget about you, you're preparing. And when your results finally show, the impact is amplified because it feels sudden to them, even though you know it's been years in the making. What looks like an overnight success to the world is really a long stretch of silent commitment. This kind of success requires patience. It demands that you trust the process even when there's no applause. It requires faith in your vision, the kind of faith that keeps you moving when no one else believes. Every day you choose to commit in silence, you're stacking evidence for the future. You're putting in the work that compounds. You're building a momentum that's invisible until it breaks through in a way that's impossible to ignore. And when it does, it carries a force no announcement ever could. People are drawn to results. They're inspired by evidence. They can argue with your opinions, they can dismiss your words, but they can't deny your results. That's why silent commitment is so powerful. You're not seeking approval as you go. You're demanding it when the evidence arrives. You're not asking them to believe. You're giving them no choice but to acknowledge. This is why commitment in silence is also freedom. It frees you from the pressure of expectations. It frees you from the trap of external validation. You don't have to perform for the crowd. You just have to perform for yourself. You can make mistakes, learn, adapt, and grow without an audience watching your every move. And when you finally reveal the results, they don't see the failed attempts, the nights you struggled, the times you almost gave up. They only see the undeniable success born from all of it. The loudness of results doesn't just silence critics. It inspires believers. Your journey, your consistency, your silent grind become proof for others that success is possible. You show them that discipline works, that patience pays, that silent moves matter. You become living evidence that the world can't ignore. And when that happens, you realize that the silence wasn't just a strategy. It was the foundation of everything you've built. Every late night, every early morning, every quiet decision to keep going instead of giving up, every moment you chose discipline over comfort, it all adds up to a break. Grew so loud it shakes the ground. Your results will echo louder than your words ever could. They'll speak for you, validate you, and prove you were right all along without you having to say a thing.